This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my review of Spider-Man No Way Home. And of course, there will be spoilers. So if you have not seen Spider-Man No Way Home yet, click off because although I think giving a spoiler warning is kind of dumb since you click on review, this movie has so much crazy stuff and I do not want it to be spoiled for you. This is the best film in the MCU easily. So now that I give you some time, let's go in and oh my god, that was crazy. It was everything that everyone expected and more. Even though I haven't seen, well, Daredevil. Daredevil has been brought into the MCU, and the rest of the Spider-Man villains have too. Also, an interesting thing is that there's like 5% of this movie that I didn't hear because everyone was flipping out. And those scenes were when the Goblin showed up, Doc Ock showed up, when Daredevil showed up, when Toby showed up, when Andrew showed up. So, in those moments, and maybe a few more, I couldn't hear a thing because the entire theater was going nuts. And yeah, but going back with this, I think that this was so interesting and so unique. I definitely enjoyed it and think that yeah, this is just the best MCU movie. And yeah, honestly, I think there's just so much to say. I am surprised there wasn't a surprise sixth villain to make this a Sinister Six, but I guess it's fine. And that's probably one of the only minor complaints because this movie, it's amazing. And yeah, just to start talking about it, let's just look at the different characters because I just can't just go for the plot. We'll go over Ned and MJ first since they do have decent roles, but aren't, super major. There are parts of the movie they aren't in. And I think that they're both handled well. I think with them being together one last time with Peter before everyone forgets, that was a really good scene. And this movie was done very well. I was definitely having so much fun while watching this. And I think that it was just such a great time. And with them, I think that, well, Peter and MJ have a good relationship. Well, had. And same with Ned. I like how close of friends they were and how it all worked out in the end. And then, continuing on, we'll look at Doctor Strange, who had definitely a more minor role, but this wasn't his movie. In fact, the trailer for his movie plays at the end of this, and this is just looks so good. I'm so excited to see what happens in Multiverse of Madness because I am really intrigued, and I'm very excited to see how this continues. He plays a minor but good role, and I think that, well, not minor because he does cause a bunch of major stuff to happen, but in the grand scheme of things, well, things, he was in here just to push off a few plot lines. And looking at the well, some more minor ones, Happy was done very well in this also. I think that what he did was good, and the final one, J. Jonah Jameson, is great in this. I definitely like how he was done, and I think it was just very interesting. And now going on to some of the ones that have a little more major roles in it. Let's take a look at Aunt May, and honestly, with her, I think that her death was just such a major part, and it really hit hard. And also, from it, it kind of get the implication that Peter didn't cause Uncle Ben's death in this universe, but you're not 100% sure on that. And with the rest, I think that honestly, this was just done so well. I think that with her telling him with great power comes great responsibility worked really well since their relationship was built up really well, and it was a very sad and emotional scene when she died. And honestly, I think that this was just such a great movie. I really enjoyed all of it, and that Aunt May death definitely hit hard. Now let's take a look around that. Well, I think I'll talk about Daredevil quickly. I think it was cool with him giving all the legal advice and saying that basically he was the one who helped save Peter and proved he was innocent in a court of law, but not to the people. And then let's talk about the two big ones, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield's, or as they were called, Spider-Man or Peter 2 and 3. And this is just another amazing scene. I think that it was just so well done, and it was just so interesting. I am so excited, and I'm so glad that they did this. And I wasn't going into the movie fully expecting them. I thought there was a good chance they would be in it, but I wasn't like they are going to be in this movie. I was like, it's most likely gonna happen, but I'm not gonna get overly disappointed if they're not. And I think the reveals were just so great. We see the portal open, and we see both of their Spider-Mans come through. And I think that was just done really well. And well, let me continue. You just see so much more. Also, kind of wondering how far of a scale this spell does work, if it's across the entire universe or just across Earth, because potentially the Guardians could still know who Peter is. And going to Andrew and Toby, I think both their Spider-Man were doing really well. They had a great chemistry with, well, Tom Holland, and they were all done really well. I think that this movie was honestly just so great. I think they did an amazing job with it, and I was really intrigued to see that they were able to do this. And I think that well, both felt like they just came out of their universes. They shared all their experiences, but still were able to be new and unique for us. I think it was great when they're talking and working together. It was just done so well, and yeah, I think that it was just so fun to see. Continuing on, I also wanted to say one last thing actually on this. I think it was great how well Andrew's like, well, I am like the worst one out of you three because I've only fought a guy in a giant metal rhino suit, and you guys both fought aliens. And yeah, I think that is really interesting. And I'll get to the end credits scene in a minute, but yeah, let's continue looking at the rest. looking at the villains, they were all done so well. This had redemption for Electro, in terms of he sucked in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Trust me, I watched all these movies before. And Sandman, he didn't fully suck in Spider-Man 3. He was pretty well done. But yeah, I think I had a nice relationship with, well, his Peter. And I think that the Lizard was probably the least well done. It was just kind of there. And it was one that had, the most basic level of stuff. He had the least intrigue. And I guess that was fine because, well, he wasn't the he was the one who didn't, kind of die or have an extreme emotional connection. Him and Sandman were the ones that kind of, they kind of got redeemed at the end, and yeah, that's just really it. And then looking at Norman and Otto, I think Dak Ock was done really well, and he was so interesting to watch. He definitely did a great job with him being evil, and then eventually having his microchip repaired and him being able to take control once again. That was done really well. And then Green Goblin was done really well with the split personalities, and I kind of figured out that, well, Green Goblin was gonna take over once again before anything good could be done. And yeah, I think also the resolutions that each of them had, then returned to normal, was good. Although all of them, besides Norman, are most likely going to jail for their crimes since, well, their identities were known. Yeah, it's just all just so well done. But going to the main Peter Parker with Tom Holland, yeah, that was just so crazy. I love how, he was able to go and make the sacrifice, have everyone forget him. That scene with Anthony was very emotional, and everything was just so great with him. I think it was all done so well, and I honestly love this movie so much. And I'm wondering just what you think. You should let me know in the comments. But yeah, just looking at Peter, I think well, Tom Holland did just such a great job playing him. His reactions and everything were just done so well. He did such a great job with the role, and now his, well, college trilogy, which I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a trilogy from what I've heard. I'm excited to see that. And them begin with the black suit. And that's going to be really interesting because the MCU is about to get Venom, and this Venom is created by the Venom of the Venom movies, since he was trying to figure out everything that happened in this universe and then got teleported away back to his when Doctor Strange played this spell. And yeah, I think that is really crazy. The other main question I have is just how the timeline is going to be changed from all these villains being returned with the, well, ones from Amazing Spider-Man. There's not gonna be any extreme changes since, well, Lizard was in jail and Electro just kind of disappeared, so you don't know if he was dead or not. But looking at the Raimi universe, it's definitely gonna be confusing because if Norman and Otto survive, Otto would probably just be going to prison, but the events of Spider-Man 3 would greatly change because Harry would no longer become the new Goblin because his father didn't die at Spider-Man's hands. But if they do return to the present, Norman will be devastated to learn that Harry is dead. And either way, it's going to be complicated to figure out. And the only one who's kind of getting away from this free is Norman, because I do wonder how Otto figured out Norman was the goblin, since that was not common knowledge at the time of Spider-Man 2. And we know that because, well, it seems like Harry didn't even know it until he discovered all the goblin equipment. And it seems that everyone still had a, well, good memory of Norman Osborn, in that thinking he was just a good person. So I'm guessing that Otto just figured it out. But it also seems that there was a history between both Lizard and Electro and Green Goblin and Doc Ock. And yeah, I guess that could have gone off screen. Just small little things. But still, I just really loved this. It's so much fun, and definitely this is the best MCU movie. Maybe even the best superhero one. I have to compare that with some of the other ones. But yeah, I wonder what you think so far. Did you love this movie? Did you hate it? And I still hope you've seen it, because I did not want to be the one who spoiled it. But you did click on a review, and I did warn you, so if it got spoiled, that's on you. And yeah, I'm just so excited to watch this again. I'll be seeing it with my family. I went to see it with my friends opening night. And yeah, just I'm so excited. And mainly just for time, the review of Young Justice and the Advent Calendar video will be also be coming out today, but they'll be out a little bit later. Most likely, I'm probably gonna sleep in because it's already 12:30 and I have to record the footage for this, which will be like 15 minutes long, and take a shower. I'll probably be in bed at like 1, and I don't want to push that longer to edit the other videos. So this will be out most likely. Best case scenario, one will be out in half an hour, the other will be out in an hour. If not, they'll be out sometime today. And yeah, I'm just loving this film. My review of the Lego set has already been out since I already mentioned that this would be the next video after that. So I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.